is the highest round you can get on Outbreak? For the past few days, I've been trying to make research and see what players are getting up to on the Outbreak high round records. And from what I've been seeing, there are some amazing players out there getting up to ridiculous rounds, but from what I've seen, it's only around 100 to 200 that players are getting up to. In today's video, I want to just look at what are the possibilities that players could get up to. Will there be a limit? And how long will it take you without any crashes and any other issues that you could run into? Really quickly, before we actually get into that, I want to really thank you all so much for 14,000 subscribers. Every month we're hitting a milestone and it just really motivates me to keep going and try grinding YouTube. Thank you all so much for being so helpful recently and smashing the like button as well. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is some of the players that have actually gotten up to really high rounds. And actually, from what I found out, the current highest round that there is out there, and that is round 233. Now this was achieved by the official KHF, who has a Twitch account where he streamed basically the whole thing, and unfortunately the reason he only got up to round 233 was because his game unfortunately crashed. And from there he has actually recently, as of recording this video, attempted the run again, and I do believe he's around 80 or something like that. Now, as everybody plays games, they have to take breaks, they have jobs and things like that, so it does take a while. But from in-game time, he got up to round 233 in 28 hours, which is quite a lot of time considering that's above a full day of in-game playing, and not even taking into account the amount of time that it takes you combined with your breaks. Another huge content creator who is Steve, who is a popular name in the zombie community, who has some insane records out there and is just insane at the zombie game mode. He actually uploaded a full 11-hour long video of him getting up to round 100, and from what I could see, he averaged around 6 hours with each one of the rounds, because if you do not know, there are 5 different objectives that you continuously rotate around once you reach the last one. And from what I've seen, it took him around 6 minutes to go from spawning in, going to the objective, and then warping to another location. Taking that into consideration, we will be kind of getting to some mathematical stuff later. Just do bear in mind, I'm not good at all in mathematics, and I probably do kind of mess up in some places, but we'll get into that later. And another content creator that I've actually found on Twitch who is currently on round 150 is Pack-a-Puncher. Now this did take him, he said, around 36 hours of all of the things combined with breaks and playing, but it took him 17 hours in game to get up to around 150. And if you don't know, Outbreak is a very difficult game mode, so it does take a while to not only complete the levels themselves, but also the difficulty of the game mode, I do believe, only increases to like round 20 to 30, and from there it does cap out and just stay at a certain stage. So I don't think the difficulty of it gets really high. I still have to test this out myself. I haven't really gotten anywhere high. I think my highest is around 17. It's a very difficult game mode, so any of these levels and difficulties that players have gotten to is just amazing. But now I want to see what round would it be possible to get up to, because if you don't know, currently I do believe that the highest round is on Firebase Z, which is around 700 to 800. I'm not exactly sure around which number it is, but that is a very high round, and that's reached on a normal zombie map. So let's say it's possible to reach 1,000 levels. From my calculations, if it took you 11 hours to get up to 100 and it took you 11 hours each time, it's possible that you could get this done in 110 hours. Now this isn't an exact number, obviously it will differ. There will be faster strategies that will be found, but currently that's 4 days. That is an insane number, but in the first place you do have to realize that there are some difficulties to even get up to this. As in the past, there were players that went in as a team of 4 into, for example, Die Maschine, and the reason they did this is because every game, including Cold War now with zombies, has crashes. A lot of players experience crashes, and there are many difficult things that happen. The reason the run stopped for these players was because when one of the teammates got kicked out of the game, when he tried to join back, he wasn't able to join because the game settings have changed and the players were playing on an older version of Cold War. And especially since Cold War is such a young game and it only dropped a few months ago, Treyarch is updating it a lot with in-game updates. They mightn't be big ones like every single season you get them, they're just small ones to change some issues and things that happen in the game. So for example, if players were to jump in together on a team of 4 into Outbreak and get up to round 300 or 400, that is already at least 2 or even 1.5 days, and that's only in game. You do have to take the fact that some players have to take breaks, and if you don't take breaks, that is really bad for your health, and you probably do get distracted, get either too tired, and you might mess up the run. So each player would have to take their breaks and make sure that they're well rested and that they can continue the run successfully. But that's the least of your concerns. The biggest concern is, will your system be able to handle it? Because if you look at consoles themselves, in my opinion, they're probably one of the unreliable systems to use, as they do sometimes reach a limit and just crash your game even if it can handle most of the things. So a lot of people opt out to use PCs. Most of the high round records in Call of Duty history are hit because players leave their PCs on overnight or just over time to take breaks, eat food and things like that, and then hop back on whenever they feel good enough to continue their run. And that is one of the biggest issues, because things like cutting out of your power could happen, your internet could go away, or even the system itself could just crash, or the game could crash. And for example, if you were in a team of 4 and you wanted to join back, there's a possibility that Treyarch could change the game settings, which would affect you not being able to join the game back. So is it possible to reach round or level 1000 on Outbreak? Yes, but there's a lot of things that you will have to take into consideration. As I've mentioned, your system, your internet, your power, and also just the things that you will be using to get up into that round, like your weapons. For example, currently the best weapon to use in Outbreak is the Howler and the ray gun. I see a lot of players using this combination, some players using Deadwire, which is an amazing and overpowered ammo mod, but then again some players are using Cryo Freeze, which is a really good thing to use to slow down the super sprinters that show up around 15 and up from what I've experienced. And also a lot of players are using Frenzy Guard, the new field upgrade, which actually is extremely overpowered. A lot of people don't use it, but if you're ever planning to high round, it's definitely one you want to have fully upgraded because you have the possibility of being invincible. But I don't think level 1000 will be reached for a very long time, and if anything, I'd be surprised to see anyone reach round 250 or even 300, as it does take a lot of time, a lot of concentration, and I know that there are players out there that will reach some insane numbers and blow everybody away with their records, but it's only a matter of time until that happens. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. I know I didn't really go into super detail. I tried my best. This is kind of one of my first ever videos where I try one of these, but again, if you do enjoy this kind of content and zombie related things like that, be sure to subscribe. 15,000 subscribers, here we come, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.